Hello there, welcome back to Crafters TV. Oh, it's been the start of a brand new week today. It's been amazing. We're going to round out your Monday in style. It is, of course, all about Monday makers for the next couple of hours. We've got some brilliant deals, and we're also going to have some brilliant demonstrations as well. Not from me, of course. No, Jan is here with me. A triple Jan day today. What a treat, Jan.
Triple Jan. It's actually my last one as well before Christmas.
It?
So after that drive home tonight...
You'll be driving home for Christmas?
I'm driving home for Christmas at the end of the night. Yes, I am that. So I'm a little bit giddy because I'm just looking at the clock now and I know how fast time travels when we're here at Crafters TV. So yeah, I'm getting a bit giddy now, Joe, that I've nearly finished for Christmas and then I've got a couple of weeks off.
Nice.
So you won't see me, guys. I know we're actually going to record anyway over the Christmas festivity period, but yeah, I'm not actually back until sort of mid-January. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a rest.
Oh, well, you've earned
a couple of weeks annual leave. So yeah, fingers crossed everything goes according to plan. So yeah, last show then, we've got Monday Makers. We've got some gorgeous products on here. I can't wait to get playing as usual, you know. And I always call, you always pick me up on the fact that I call it playing because it's not like having to work. It's not. It's just playing with the products. So first of all, we've got those beautiful window reveals coming up. So I've just got a few samples to give you a little bit of inspiration at the beginning of the show there. So we actually did one of these on Wake Up Call this morning, showed you the concept, and I did it going sort of landscape horizontally rather than vertical. So they work both ways. But basically, pull the little tag and you go from one image there down to that lovely hip array with the balloons and the confetti there. Beautiful. So on that particular one, there are 6 different sets to collect with this. We've got those in a bundle tonight for you. That's that same one with the gift set in there, and you've got those extra little embellishments. These are all part of the stamp set with the balloon and the cupcake and everything. And then what about that lovely champagne set there? So again, you've got the bottle and the empty glasses.
Soon be time, Jan, soon be time.
But look at this, ready for New Year and Christmas and New Year. You've got that bit of fizz, the streamers going. Congratulations, really, really pretty. The little ice bucket down there at the bottom. So yeah, absolutely beautiful. And then this one as well, love the peacock feathers on there. I've just pulled out a few to show you. But again, you've got that lovely peacock, sort of inspecting these feathers. And then wow, off he goes, showing them to the best look. So a big display of feathers there. And again, all the little extra bits are part of the collection, and this has been very cleverly done because it's one of the stamps that's created the background in here. So this is actually part of the little stamp set, and we've just stamped it over in different colours and actually created the background in there. So again, who was that one? Lucinda. Love that idea. Well
really
done there.
Lovely.
So that's the window reveals. We've also got those interchangeable stamps, which are another favourite of mine, I must admit. So again, we're going to be doing some stamping. We've got some of the ink pads on the show as well for you. So again, you can stamp them out. You can see the different layers, and then you've got different sentiments that stamp into the little banner section in the middle there. So that's one of the designs. Again, popping them in the different colours so you can choose which colourways you work with. And just by changing the colours and the designs, they look so different. So again, creating that little banner, the stamp creates the space for you to put that banner in the middle, and then you have 2 or 3 different sentiments to choose from. And then the last one, again,
Gosh,
we did
loads on the show, Jan.
Yeah, I did a demo with these earlier as well with the Triptych dies, and I must admit I do absolutely love these. Now, there's a collection of 6 of these, and some of them are Christmas related, but I think there's more that aren't than there are Christmas ones. So yeah, you might think, oh well, Christmas is almost here, I've done my Christmas cards, but again, ready to pop in, ready for next year. But there are some of them that are quite generic as well. So for example, you've got the church scene there, which is a really nice one for weddings and things like that. I'm going to demo this one. You've got that lovely little cottage scene. Really pretty, you know, colouring it with your pens and creating that background. And then this is the one that I created on Wake Up Call this morning, using the fairies there, just with the shaker pieces in the background. So yeah, that idea of it being split into 3 panels. I've showed you samples using the concept as it was designed, but again, you know, there's always different ways of using these as well. So yeah, loads coming up this afternoon, or this evening we're into now, aren't we?
Absolutely, there is loads. Lots of you saying hello as well. Donna is saying hi. Pam E is in Central New York. Barbara's in. Mary Rhino, Rhonda, Mary Pat. We've also got Anne Lee, the lovely Lynn as well. Lots of you tuning in and saying hello, spending your Monday evening or afternoon with us today. We are going to kick things off with those reveal the windows that you've got there. Now, you've got a couple of different options when it comes to going for this. So, what you can do is, I'll give you the details firstly for the sort of worker element on its own, but don't go for that, and I'll tell you why in a minute. What this gives you is it gives you that kinetic element, that movable element, which is going to allow you to create this window reveal concept. You can use pictures in there if you want to as well, and photos, lots of different stamps I'm sure that you already have that will work well with this. You've got all the different embellishing dies that you need to go with it, and you do get one set of stamps with it. However, don't go for that item, because when you go for the next item, so you're going to pay, the stamps should be £7 each. However, when you buy the collection, you're only going to pay an extra, £11, and you get 6 of the stamp sets included. So it's absolutely definitely worth going for the whole collection, because then what this gives you is it gives you all the options when it comes to theming this. You've got dies and stamps in here as well. So you've got the Mighty Oak, you've also got Feathers, which is this one just here. That's your bubbles there with the champagne. You've got your butterfly in there. Then you also have this one, which is the rain cloud and the sunshine, which Jan demonstrated in Wake Up Call this morning. And you've also got as well the gift in there as well. So the value in the collection is extraordinary. £30.12 you save, or $40.35. I know they look impressive, Jan. I think you could be forgiven for thinking that maybe these could be quite difficult to put together, but it's not the case, is it?
It's not, no, and that's what I love about our products, Joe, is it's, you know, we've done the hard work, we've done all the measuring, we've looked at how the concept worked, we've put it together, and we've put it together in such a, you know, a simple manner that once you break down those steps, it's not that difficult to do, but you get that wow factor. And I think kinetic cards, anything that's got movement on it, I think are always sort of really well received, whether it's adults or children alike. They love something that moves on a card, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So I've got that reveal the setup. So this is the main concept die that you need, and then it comes with all those other options. But having said that, this one does have its own stamp set in it as well. So you're actually getting 7 sets of stamps with the extra ones that come with the bundle. So I'm actually going to use this one in conjunction with the main concept one for this demo today. So yeah, we've got in there your main sort of worker die. So we actually need these 2 pieces here. We've got that one, which is going to be the outer casing, and then we've got this one that's going to be the mechanism, and these work together to make that sort of pull window. And then there are other elements on there, much more metal on there, which I'll talk about as we come to use it in the demo. You also get your stamp set with this one. So this is just a note to say there, and you've got the gorgeous sort of like little bird bringing the letter, and then inside you've got the letter open and it says I'm thinking of you. So really, really nice. You've got extra embellishments in there as well if you want to decorate any extra pieces, a couple of extra sentiments, and you've got that pull me there, which if you want to pop that on the end of the concept piece, just to let people know that they need to pull the tab, it's there if you want it. And as always with something like this, yes, you've got us to watch. If you like to actually watch a demo, you can watch this even after the show's finished. You can bookmark the shows, you can watch them as many times as you wish, but we do actually pop in there some written instructions for anything that's got, you know, those steps to follow. So inside here you've got a list of photos and written instructions which take you through how to use these in conjunction with the stamps and actually make that little element that becomes your window reveal. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So I've just got some plain white stamping card, and the first thing we need to do then is cut these 2 pieces out with the Gemini. So the tall one is actually a wee bit long for your Gemini Junior, so it is better on the big Gemini. But having said that, I'm just going to grab one of the smaller plates there because it is doable. If you put your cardstock in on your junior plate like so, you can see we've got some hanging over the edge. But if you offer it in this way and cut half of it out and then just move it along and turn it round and pop it through this way, you can actually get this piece cut. Everything else will fit through those junior plates, and a lot of the little embellishments will even fit through, you know, so the likes of the mini and things like that. So let's get these cut out, and I'm just going to pop these onto some plain white stamping card. Okay, and then we're going to pass that through our Gemini and just get those 2 pieces cut out. So normal thin metal dies, pop the normal sandwich on there, and then we're just going to pass that through the machine and let it do the cutting. Now you do sometimes hear that cracking sound when you're cutting outline dies. It's because there's no metal in the middle. So don't be afraid if it does start doing that. It's not doing any damage. It's just purely because they're an outline die. So pass that through there, and then we'll take those pieces out to work on. And I'm actually going to show you the stamping element of it as well, how to get those stamps lined up for this one. So we need that piece and that piece. So
any sort of cardstocks you should use or avoid, max or minimum GSM, Jan?
I like to use a nice sort of construction weight card, so I tend to go for the 300 GSM. And you know, my main 3 go-to cardstocks are the white stamping card, the matte black card and the craft card, which are all 300 GSM, but there's nothing to stop you using a slightly lighter weight. You need to be aware that there's that pull mechanism, so it needs to be fairly rigid. I would say sort of 250 upwards, otherwise if it's too lightweight, it's going to buckle when you pull that tab. Okay. So it wants to be something that will actually withstand that movement in your card. So as well as cutting this, you can see we've got these sort of little flaps here on one side, and then on the second piece we've just got like little pieces that are cut into, it's almost like a little blind, Venetian blind kind of effect on there. And we've also got score lines in there. So the first one is across the centre here, and you've got that little tiny gap in there which is just the right size. It's almost as if it's been designed that way for this one to slot in, and this is where we get that pull mechanism for. So what I'm going to do to start off with is just fold those lines and making sure it all stays nice and straight, burnish those in place. And then you can see we've got 2 slightly shaped pieces which are going to become our glue tabs when we've got everything ready. So I'm just going to fold those so that that cardstock knows that we want a nice crisp edge there when we're finished. And the same on this side, you've got a score line down that side. So again, we're going to do this one as well and just burnish those in place. And we've got then, this is going to become your piece. It all sticks together in the end. And this is the size of that finished piece. So once this is done, we're looking at 5 by 3¼ inches. So this is perfect for going on, such as your 5 by 7 cards, or even a bit bigger than that. I'm actually going to do a square one with this on when we're finished. So I'm just going to open this out flat again, because I'm going to show you first of all how these 2 pieces fit together. And then I'm also going to show you how to line up the stamps when you're actually stamping on them as well. So what we're going to do then is pop that tab through the little slot that we've made in here. And you can see that this fits now in between those 2 glue tabs nicely. So it's all been measured and you don't have to worry about that. And then those pieces that are cut, I've got in the back there 1, 2, 3, 4 slats. And in here, we've got 4 tabs. So what we need to do is pop this in place, and then the first one, it's not the easiest thing to show you this on air, but we're going to tuck that little pointed tab here in the first slot. So if I lift this up, you can just see how I've slotted it into that first slot. Second one into the second, third into the third, and fourth into fourth. And like I said, don't worry, because this is all in that instruction book. So then when we pop this together, you can just see how when this is popped down, you've got the top section showing. But then when we pull it up, can you see how that shutter system moves up to create what's essentially underneath?
Very simple, isn't it, as a concept, really, when you look at it?
It's all been worked out. And, you know, I was looking at this when I first got these, and I thought I would never have worked out how to do that on my own without the help of those dies. And once you've got that concept die, this can be repeated as many times as you want. So, bearing in mind we're going to have a stamped image on that first piece, we're going to stamp that in the parameter of those 4 pieces. But if you think about when this is actually pulled up to show the second part, you've actually raised this quite high. So what I tend to do is pop a little tiny pencil mark in the top and bottom where that window is going to be. So the piece that's cut out here, the window element, and I've just so that's the bit that's going to be showing when I've actually pulled the tab. So as far as stamping's concerned, I've now got a guide. So I'm just going to take this back out, just loosen those tabs for a second while we've done some stamping. But what I've done is actually created a space there where we've got those 2 pencil marks so that I know my stamping wants to come in this bottom section rather than be higher up. So then we're going to bring in our stamping apparatus. So I've just got my stamping mat together with some ink and my little stamp platform. And what we're going to do is bring in the 2 main elements here. So we've got the little bird delivering the letter, and then we've got the bird with the open letter. So the delivering letter is going to go on the front piece, and the open one is going to go on the back piece. So it's simply a case of popping your stamp on here, and you can use any of your stamping platforms. You can use the magnetic if you prefer a rocker block. And I've just picked up the alcohol proof ink because I've used my tri-blend markers to colour in with there. So just inking that up. And on the first one, if you remember I said we were going to go in the space of those 4 slats. So I'm just going to hover over there and just line that up as best I can in that area that we know is going to show, and then commit to that stamp.
Lots of people got these. Pammy's got them, but she says, I don't think I've got the squirrel one. They are all available individually, the extra embellishing stamp sets, if you want to get them individually. So you can grab them like that as well if you wish, if you want to complete your collection. 2 for £12 or $17 if you wanted to get a couple of them. Beth says, hi Hannah, any John sightings today? It's my first chance to watch. I should have seen him in the earlier show, honestly. No, there's been no John sightings today. Maybe we'll get a John sighting before the day's out. Who knows? And Cheryl says, Joseph, you're looking really good. I love the beard. I missed it. Thank you very much.
Oh, it looks more like Joe again now, doesn't he? The Joe
I was saying yesterday in last night's show how I'd regretted when I was about 8 years old changing my name from Joseph to Joe. So some of the viewers have started calling me Joseph again.
Joseph.
I think they're talking to someone else. I'm like, oh no, it's me.
It's you, yeah. Right, so then what I've done is swap to the other stamp now. This is the one with the open letter, and again I'm going to ink that one just the same with that alcohol proof ink. And this time I'm just going to keep an eye on those 2 little pencil marks that I made and literally line my stamp up again. So I'm looking at between the 2 sides here and between those 2 little marks that I made, and make sure that my stamp lands, just get that little bit of ink off there, that just lands in that gap so that I know that when I pull this forwards, I'm going to see that image. And then we commit to the stamp, transfer that across, and then you can colour this with whatever medium you wish. So if you want to use your markers or colouring pencils, or if you want to watercolour with your inks, however you want to colour it in, entirely up to you. Just be mindful before you stamp as to what your colouring medium is going to be so that you know which ink to use. So we can see now we've got our 2 sets there. I'm just going to grab my pencil eraser then, and just, I don't need those 2 little pencil marks anymore now, so just take those out of the equation, and then we've got those ready. So let's get rid of the stamping mat, and I have actually coloured them ready because the colouring does take a little while, but I just chose a selection of my tri-blend pens there, just picked some colours out that I wanted to work with and that what went with my background paper that I'd chosen, and I've literally got this far. So we've got the front one there coloured in just with the markers, and then we've got the back one coloured in as well. And excuse my little, this was the bit where it caught the stamping platform, but I'm hoping when we get it finished that bit's going to be concealed, so I'm not too worried about that. So you can see we've got to exactly the same stage. The only thing I've done different is run some red line tape down those 2 little tabs that we said were going to be the finishing glue tabs. So let's pop those to one side now, and again we can actually construct this one now. So pop it through the little slot that we made there, and then again all you need to do is remember that the first one of these wants to go in that top slot. So the first tab that you've got here goes into the top slot on the back piece. So again, once it's popped through there, we're just literally going to pop that one into the back, second one, third one, and fourth one. And if I lift
Fabulous.
this up now, you can see how those have interlocked in that grid that's underneath there. So again, we've now got that positioning, whereas when it's pushed to close together, you've got the little bird delivering the letter. And then when we pull it to reveal the second one, you've actually got him delivering the letter there. Absolutely, really, really clever, yeah? So once you've got to this point and you're happy with it, we can make sure that this bit is nice and straight in the back. So I'm just going to make sure that this lies nicely between those two glue tabs, and the glue tabs want to come over the top of that section that we popped through the slot. So don't get that underneath there, it wants to come over the top. And then we're going to take our tape off. And I find that the red line tape is the best one for this because you want it to seal. The wet glue works just as well, but obviously you've got to wait for it to dry. So what we're going to do now is keep those closed and then actually pop this one over the top, and it should all line up nicely to make that little pocket, okay, that slider element's going to work into. So again, once you're happy with it, just give that tape a good burnish so that it sticks, and you can see there that you've got your little pocket with the first image in and then the second one.
Perfect.
So reveal that little one
They
underneath.
slide so easily as well.
Clever,
don't they?
isn't it? Yeah. Okay, and then the rest, I said I'd come back to the rest of the metalwork and I'll show you what I've cut out. We've got this lovely frame piece here, so I've actually cut that out of some coordinating cardstock, and I've also taken the little square, which is just the right size to frame the work that you've done there. You can see that's just been made perfectly to give that little bit of work. So this one's been cut out of the centre here, just lined it up to get a pretty even border around it, and we've cut those two to create our top piece, and that is going to sit now on the front, and it covers up all those little bits where there might be a bit of the colour peeping through. You can see now it frames it beautifully, and it brings all that work into that frame area where we can actually see it. So again, with that one, I've just popped a couple of pieces of tape top and bottom. Try and stay away from the two side areas, because the last thing you want to do is get your tape into this bit. If you catch this with the tape, it's not going to slide backwards and forwards. So I always avoid those two side pieces and just pop the tape top and bottom, and then we can line this up and frame that little photo frame there. Just
These
about.
would work so good with your photos, wouldn't they?
They would, yes, because you can actually cut. I think Sarah launched these,
Yes,
and I do remember her
we
cutting
did them on the HSM preview.
a photo in them, yeah, so that you're actually going from one photo at the front here. So you would actually cut these mechanisms with your photo, so that when you actually do the reveal, you've got maybe a photo at the front and then a second photo behind it. Or you could even have a stamped image at the front and reveal a photo behind it on the bottom one, whichever what you want to do. But you can see that working now. So extra pieces of metalwork that we've got that little pull tab here. So I've cut that in the same colour as the frame and popped a couple of pieces tape on the inside there. And this is just going to go on the top of that pull tab. It just gives you a little bit more of something to get hold of. It adds a decorative element. And I'm literally going to sandwich that on the top here. I'm just going to pop my piece into the fold and then make sure that I've got around about the same on each side, and then just fasten that round, and again just give it a burnish to get that glue in place. So you've now got your piece ready. And if you were watching this morning, I did one that was landscape, so it was sliding sideways. So all I did was turn my stamps and stamp them this way instead of in that portrait style. So they'll work both ways, whichever you want to do. And then I've just created a fairly simple background, little bit of matting and layering. Being a bit frugal there with the old cardstock again. As if I haven't got enough, I still have to do it by force of habit. I have to take out the middle there.
Where do you keep all your middles? Is it a bit like the polos, like the polo factory? It's all the middle of the polos
Don't,
everywhere?
honestly. They're all the scrap pieces, and you know, I've got Jan being Jan and being OCD, I've got them all colour coordinated. So I have all my for example, purple plain card together scraps and all my purple pattern scraps together, and so on for all the colour families. But then you get to the point where you think, I've got more scraps than I know what to do with, and these folders just get bigger and bigger and bigger. So every so often, I have to have a sort out.
How is the conservatory looking at the moment?
Pardon?
How is the conservatory looking at the moment?
It's getting there. I am working on it, mainly because all the spare stuff was like the poltergeist on the dining table. And of course, on Saturday, we're going to need said dining table to eat Christmas lunch. It's one of the very few meals that we do sit down at the table and eat together as a family. So I'm looking at it thinking, need to do something. So I have been tidying, and the time that I'm off between Christmas and New Year, I'm hoping to get it into some sort of fashion that I can take some photographs and show you it eventually. I'm a bit embarrassed at the minute that it's in such a mess, but I've bought another unit in the hope that I'm going to have enough space to put everything away and get it off the floor. And I said to my husband, I says, anything that doesn't fit in, I'm just going to have to donate to somebody.
Maybe we need to start some sort of like recorded program that we do on the side. You know, like how clean is your house? We could do how clean is your craft
Mine's more
space.
like hoarders. It's not about how clean is your house. Mine, I'd be on the hoarders one, because I just cannot throw things away.
Me and you could go around just being quite fabulous, you know, doing over people's craft spaces. I think it could be great. John could come and drill everything together and screw all the bits together.
Couldn't he, with his power tools,
I wonder who else would help us out with it. Who's good with like the interior design stuff?
Oh, Jenny's not bad, is she, with all the design? She designed all the studio, didn't she? Yeah.
I think it'd be great.
So again, on that stamp set, if I just pop it on the back of the card there, you can just see those other elements. So I actually wanted my just a note to say in 2 pieces. So I've stamped it out as one and then just chopped it in half because I want to put some at the top and some at the bottom. Stamped out the little extra envelope there just as an embellishment, and then I've got a couple of little gems to pop on there just to finish it off. So fairly straightforward, doesn't have to be anything fancy because this is the bit that you want to do the work. So again, I'm just going to pop tape on the back of that piece there that we've made, but don't get any tape on this pull mechanism because you want that to slide. And then decide, do we want it straight? Do we want it at an angle? We're going to go that way, I think, at a slight angle on there. Okay. And pop that one down there. And then I wanted to put some of this at the top. I think we're going to have a little bit there and a little bit at the bottom, and then I've got my little letter as well, which I think we'll just add them on like that. So I'm just going to take a little bit of wet glue and just add those last little bits on just to decorate. So we're going to put one on there, we're going to put one on the bottom there. And again, you know, the decorating side of it is entirely personal choice, you know, whether you're decorating it for someone and you know their taste, or whether it's down to your own taste. I've said this a lot, you know, just go for it. Colour schemes may be, you know, for the person that you're sending it to. If it's to do with a wedding, it might be the wedding colours and things like that. There's so many different ways to embellish something. So we'll pop that one there. And then I've just got my couple. I just felt as if it needed a little bit of bling. Things aren't finished without a bit of bling in my world. There we go, look, just on there, just to finish it off. So you can see there, if I move everything out of the way now, we've got that lovely little window reveal there. And again, once we pull that tab at the top, we're going from him delivering the letter to it actually arriving and saying, I'm thinking of you. So just a note to say, I'm thinking of you. Really, really simple to do. Don't forget, you've got that little book of instructions that tells you how to get this bit together. But yeah, really, really cute. And you'll find that people want to actually play with that mechanism just to see it working.
If you were like a delivery driver though in the UK, rather than the delivered letter inside, it could just have a little note that said it's in the bin, and then a picture of your front of your living room window or something like that.
We came home the other day. Normally there's 2 cars on the drive, obviously mine and my husband's, and we were out in one of them, but we'd taken the one that Steve's car normally backs up to the garage door. So if we're not in, if we're out in my car, they normally leave the parcels behind Steve's car up against the garage door. No problem. But because we were out in his car, that space was empty, but they'd still left parcel in corner in front of garage door in view of everybody that was walking past the house, yeah. Just crazy.
Yes, isn't it?
Absolutely crazy. Well, it's in your safe place.
In the wheelie bin, that's the best one.
That's terrible.
We have, in the apartments I live in, they're on a road, obviously, like on a street.
Yeah.
But then the car park is kind of in front of the building, and there's a big metal gate, which is the vehicle gate and the pedestrian gate. You can't get through unless someone comes down and lets you in. So obviously the delivery driver couldn't get in, so he just lobbed it over, the fence into the car park, left it there. Someone came
It's a good job it wasn't a breakable one.
I know. Anyway.
Catch.
Oh well, not in, throw it over the fence.
Oh dear.
Let me run you back through what you're getting in here. So you're going to get the reveal the setup firstly. This on its own, as I said, $24.99 or $29.95. So brilliant value in going for the whole collection. They are all available individually, these accessorising stamps and dies. And also, these would make great accessories. I'm guessing you'd use these on their own away from the collection, equally as much as with the collection.
Joe, there's some lovely little stamps in there, you know, that you might just want to make a quick, clean and simple card with a little stamped image on the front and a sentiment, and your job's done, yeah. So a lot of usability without the reveal the windows part to it, yeah.
Absolutely, and lots of different styles and designs in there that are going to take you through all different occasions you might need them for. Platinum members, you're looking at under £30 or $40, which is amazing value. I want to tell you about the Monday Mega Deal, which is this one right here. So it is our 6x6 fab file, which is a fab file, as the name might suggest, because what you're getting in here is you get your little dividers in here, so you can put your individual papers in here, dies, stamps, embellishments, stencils, as we've got in here, all those different things, but it also holds your 6x6 paper pads. And what we've done is we've thrown in some beautiful 6x6 paper pads for you as well. Let me take you through those. So you're going to get in here Garden Party, which is beautiful, really lovely florals, quite linen feel to it. You get that one? You're also going to receive Farmhouse as well, which is again really beautiful. One of the most popular ones we did actually, really lovely. And you've also then got Autumn Blessings in here as well, that really lovely sort of warm, rich orange and brown colour tone all the way through there. Very nice wintry feel to that one. You save 35%, which is brilliant. If you're a platinum member, you're looking at under £13, just over $18 to get your hands on those. We've also got these now. Now I know Jan loves her stamping, it's fair to say, but anything that's a layering stamp or a rotating stamp or anything like that, I know how much Jan loves. So I know, Jan, you adore these, don't you?
I do. I love playing with the inks and the stamps.
They're fabulous. They really are. And what you've got on here is the ability to sort of layer these up. And you do have lots of different sentiments which will fit into the banner that's on here. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on this one. And the same again. Got a few more here, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. 9, 10, you've got 11 on that particular one. So you've got Wild Meadow was your first one. Then you will also receive the classy florals. But this one here is your Yuletide foliage. You've got Holly and Poinsettia. And you've also got in here violet roses as well. Now, I know a couple of these are festive themed, the rest of them aren't, but to be honest, you're choosing the colourways, so you can make these autumnal, you can make them spring-like, summer-like. It really is up to you. You can take them in lots of different directions. Great saving for you on these as well, £13 or $15. Everyone is saving. Of course, you're going to get that Club Inspired discount on top of there as well. Really beautiful, very delicate these, Jan, which is what I think a lot of people have really enjoyed about them.
And I love the way that it creates that, however you stamp them, whichever set that you use, creates that little banner space. And there's a little stencil in there for you to colour the banner and then add your chosen sentiment. And there's usually at least 2, maybe 3 sentiments in each set. So we're going to show you how to do these. And I've just got some of my quick dry inks with me. I'm just having a look. I need 1, 2, 3, and then we need a black one to do the ink in with, and then I need that one and that one. So once I've got everything ready there, we're good to go. So quick dry inks then, I chose Lemon Tonic, Parakeet and Green Topaz, and we're going to use the Wild Meadow. All right, so I've gone sort of green for some of the foliage, I've gone with the turquoise for some of the foliage, and then the yellow for some of the flowers. So let's show you how these come together. Again, really sort of all that work being done for you again, just shows you you know, it gives you the chance to play with them and get a good result. So I'm going to bring in my stamping platform this time, and I've got a piece of stamping card, again, not to any particular size because I've actually cut this one down into a circle when I've finished my design. So just something that's a bit bigger than what you actually want to work on. And then you'll see that your stamps are numbered. So I've got set number 1, I've got number 2, and number 3. Having said that, Jan being Jan, I did them in a different order, but again, however you want to work with them. And then you can see there are several of the sentiments that are in that curved style that are going to fit through that little banner, which we're going to create in the centre with the little stencil that comes with it. It's such a cute little idea. So let's have a look then. We're going to take the first one, which is just the main foliage, and we're going to decide whereabouts we want that one. And you can see, I'm just going to follow my design that I've done there, make sure I've got it the right way. Yeah, there we go. Now it has got, you can just see there, we've got that little right angle. If I bring this up a bit higher for you, little right angle corner on this bit here. And all the other pieces have got that same corner on. So if you actually want to mark your platform and line them up with the corner, you can use that as a, you know, sort of a placement finder. But I just tend to do it by eye, because once you start stamping, you'll see what I mean. And you can see here already that we've got the beginnings look of that shaping for that banner to fit in the middle, even with that first layer. So I'm literally just going to pop this down, and the first layer that we're going to do is going to be that green topaz. So I'm just pop that in the middle there, pick that up with my platform, and again I've gone for quick dry inks purely because we're doing that overlaying stamping, and you don't have to wait for it to dry. These dry literally as soon as they hit a porous surface. They're just going to dry perfectly and do the job for you. So I've inked that one up, and we're just going to stamp that one out to get us started. So this one's the green topaz. So you've got some of the foliage in there, and you've got a couple of the stems that the flowers are going to attach to. So again, once that one's down there, and if you haven't seen these in action, I have no idea how it works, but these are dry the minute they touch. That's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely magic. Stunning. So again, my stamps just get tret to a little wipe.
I can't believe you don't have your dirty rag anymore.
Oh, it's been retired.
Have you done anything with it? Have you turned it into some sort of like tapestry and framed it and put it in the conservatory?
Not yet, no. I wish I had time,
like the
Joe.
Shroud or something like that.
I really wish I'd got time. I really do. But usually I leave here and go home and start prepping for the next show. But obviously I'm quite looking forward to the fact, as I say, that I've got a little bit of time off. So what we're going to do next is I actually use number 3 next. But you can follow the design if you wish. So again, I've got that little right angle corner, which was up in the top here. But the reason I went for number 3 was so that I could actually line up the flowers there. And you've got a little bit of overstamping on the leaves. So you can line those up. And then the rest of the foliage just fits nicely between what's already there. And I've got the flower here that sits on this stalk. I've got the centre of the flower for this one. And then these 2 sets of leaves, I've got that sort of overstamping. So they're really easy to line up, even if you don't have the magnetic base platform. So again, once that's in place, pick it up, and we're going to go to the parakeet. All right. And again, just add your ink. Just remember with the quick dry inks that they are on a sponge pad, so you don't need to press them down too hard, otherwise you'll just end up with a big splodge of ink on there, and it just wastes the ink. The platform will stop it from transferring to your project, but it just wastes your ink really. So once we've got this one in place, again, make sure you're over the centre of it and stamp straight down, rather than if you're sitting, sometimes you can just give that little it only needs a millimetre or so one way, and you're actually offline with what you've taken time to line up. So again, just that pressure all over where we've stamped, and then we've got that one added into the mix. So you can see where this one's now sat on the stalk. This one's going to be the centre of the other flower, and then we've got a little bit of overstamping, which is not so easy to see there. I can see it with my eye here in the studio, where it's just gone over the top. So again, just a quick clean, and then they go back on their carry sheet so that I know where everything is, and then we're going to do that last set now, and I'm going to bring in that lemon tonic. So we need the one with the flower on next. And again, essentially I'm sort of going for the same place with that corner, but I know now here that I've got the centre of this flower and I've got the flower here that's going to go onto this one. So however we work with this, you know, as I say, you don't necessarily need the platform. You can see how these are going to line up. You can just do it by eye if you don't have that stamping platform, and you can see how they just fit into place. So once that one's in the right place, pick it up, and then I'm just going to use that lemon tonic on there. So again, nice light tapping so that you don't over ink your stamp. If you're using the magnetic platform, you've also got that facility to over stamp if you don't quite get it as bold as you want to the first time. And then this one's going to go into the gap and just add that last bit of detail onto there. So really, really pretty, sort of. You see how that's all fit together nicely now. And then we're going to bring in our stencil. So I'll just pop that back on the carrier sheet. And we're going to have a look at the stencil element, which just fits nicely now into this gap. And I've actually gone for the opaque pigments for this because I wanted it to be really pale in the centre. I want this to be the focal point with a pale background in the centre. So I've just gone for some Oasis. I'm going to use my little finger dauber, and then we're going to line the stencil up in that gap there. And you can see how that's just been made to fit perfectly in the gap. I never bother sticking them down. I usually just hold them in place. And I'm going to add some ink. I don't want to do the whole thing. I'm just going to come in from each side to create the illusion that there is that banner coming through the middle there. Again, a little bit darker at the edges. And I just like the fact that the pigment inks are a little bit more pastel. So you've got that sort of...
It's interesting using the two different ink pads together because you don't usually do that, do we? You'd always usually opt for one for your whole
I'm
project.
always mixing them up, Joe. You know me. It's like I'm always talking about things being fit for purpose. And again, I wanted this to be much more pastel than that really vibrant stamping that we've done around the edge. If I'd have done this with the Oasis water reactive ink, it would be much darker. And obviously, if I'd have used one of the quick dries, I'm going to get that really bold image. So I just wanted it to be nice and faint in the background because that's where we're going to add now our stamp. So we can decide what sentiment we want in there. All right, what did I use on mine? I used Sending Hugs and Happy Thoughts. I thought that was a nice one. But any of these will work. And again, these are designed now. They're slightly shaped, and they're shaped to fit in that banner. And I just think it's really clever how it's been done. So I'm just going to position that one in place where I want it. And again, pick it up with that platform. And I've got the quick dry black ink now to stamp over the top of it. They all play nicely together. And I want to do the black ink just so that that sentiment stands out really nicely. Okay, so you can see there now that fits perfectly in that little banner, absolutely beautifully. So we've done all our stamping. Pop those to one side. And what I've done with it then is I used some of my circle nesting dies to cut it out and just create that circular element, which is going to be the feature on my card. I've just added a couple of gems on there. You can see we're pretty much along the same lines there. And then I've created a fairly simple design with a little bit of matting and layering. We're just going to go for that reverse easel. And these are quite bright colours for me. I was quite proud of myself because I normally work with pastel shades, and I just thought I want to echo what colours are on there. So out came the yellow cardstock to pick up the lemon tonic ink, and then I've matched it with some turquoise paper from one of the 8x8 pads, and that's going to pick up that parakeet colour. And we're going to pop one there and one on the top there. So I was just trying to work out what I'd got that on there. I remember my piece of cardstock wasn't big enough, so I've joined a couple of pieces together.
Have you? Now that is frugal.
Honestly. I don't like wasting stuff, Joe, so literally nobody will ever know that there's a join down here when it's all matted and layered. If I hadn't have told you, you'd have been none the wiser. But yeah, it just wasn't quite big enough for what I wanted, so yeah, just joined it at the back there, and then this one is going to lay on the front here, just as a matten layer on the front. Let's get it centred, Jan. There we go, that's better. And then what I want to do is pop this on the front, but just to make it stand out a bit more, I've taken some turquoise textured cardstock and used the matching scallop die, and we're literally just going to pop this together so that that stands off the front there. So I've got some tape on the back of here. Again, you can use your wet glues, you can use your tape pen, and I'm actually going to stick this one flat onto here, like so. And then I've already popped some foam pads on the bottom half, and that's going to stick to the front here. So we just need to take those covers off there. And then this one is going to stick. I'm going to just go to eyeball centred across here, a little gap at the bottom. Make sure that my sentiment's reasonably straight, and then commit to that one just there. Okay, and then this is actually going to be like an easel style, so we need something to stop it moving there. So all I did was just cut a couple of pieces of cardstock with the oval this time, little butterfly out of my stash there, just to create some detail. And in the background I've just used tiny elements of, you can see that big daisy there just on here, bit of the foliage, just in the same colours as what I've got on the front there, just to link it together. And we're literally going to pop this one in here just to stop it from sliding too far down. So you can see there, we've just got that stopper, and it creates a really nice, I just love the actual fact that you can decide. And if I did this in, say, pinks and lilacs and blues, it would look completely different, even though it's the same stamp set. So depending on what colour scheme you go for, they can look totally, totally different. But yeah, really cleverly done. I love how that sentiment just fits in the gap there. So really sending hugs and happy thoughts to everyone ready for Christmas.
Absolutely. Trace says, Joe, someone should get Jan a cuppa before she loses her voice. She's getting a bit croaky, Jan.
Oh, it's just, I've had this awful cold that's going round. I've done so many tests to make sure it's nothing nasty, but it is just the cold. And I think it's just we've been talking all day. I am good. I've got I've been having my Lemsips and what have you. So yeah, I'm okay. It's just with talking, it's starting to take its toll. So yes, we're all good. Keeping my fingers crossed that everything's all right, ready for Christmas.
I'm sure it'll be all good. Rose says, hello crafty friends, hi Joe and Jan and Crafters TV people. Just heard my favourite Christmas tune, so I'm ready to get going for the week, playing Christmas tunes as I craft along. What is your favourite Christmas tune, Rose? I need to know. Jan, what's your favourite Christmas song?
Oh, I like a little bit of Step Into Christmas, Step
nice.
Into, and I do like Wizard, I must admit.
Do you? I don't like the Wizard one.
Yeah, it's sort of Slade versus Wizard, isn't it? And I must admit, I'm on the Wizard side. I do like that track, yeah.
Johnny, what would yours be? Slade.
A bit of Slade.
Which one's Slade? Which one's Wizard?
Wizard. Oh, now then, hang on.
So, I wish it, because Christmas every day is Wizard.
Every day.
So how does the Slade one go?
Slade is they start at the beginning, don't they? Merry Christmas.
Yeah, but then how's it go after that?
And let me think. I've got the other one in my head now.
Here it is, Merry Christmas. Okay.
Yeah, I've got our Johnny singing in my ear there, just to start us on. Look to the future now. That's the one.
Charlotte?
Speak up.
I think I know Charlotte. Is it the same as mine? Is it Leona Lewis?
Oh, I do like that as well. The one.
Love the Leona.
The Sleeps to Christmas, is it?
Yeah. So my two favourites are Kelly Clarkson and Leona Lewis. They're my two. Is it? Absolutely love that one. Also, Kelly Clarkson has got a new Christmas album out, Jan. Honestly, do yourself a favour and listen to it on the way home.
Yeah?
Oh, it is Chef Kiss. It's so good.
Yeah?
And she's got a new single, a Christmas song out of Ariana Grande, which is amazing.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Ariana doesn't squeak too much. It's quite nice. Do you know what I mean? Ariana has that thing she does, doesn't she, where she goes like, rah! Right there. She doesn't do that too much on this. It's nice. What is your favourite Christmas song? Why don't you let us know in the comments? I'd love that. Should I recap these stamps? I probably should. Let me go through these for you. So you've got Wild Meadow. You also have Classy Florals, Yuletide Foliage, Holly and Poinsettias, and Violet Roses is the other one that you have here. £41.57, £47.84, your price on those. Let's also go through these quick dry ink pads as well for you. This one just here. So you've got to get in here the Plum Jam, the Grasshopper, Crushed Velvet, Oasis, Fuchsia, Green Topaz, Lemon Tonic, Ocean Blue, Sandstorm, and you'll get the Pine Tree in there as well. $39.92 or $55.60 if you want to get your hands on those. Lots of you are still chatting away. Lynn says beautiful car. Oh, sorry, I've got to stop talking because we've got to go to the break, apparently, according to Charlotte. She doesn't want to hear me read your beautiful comments by the sounds of it. She sounded very, very bored by the concept. Here's all the details of Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet. The neighbours.
I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing.
Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us. You give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
Joy, there's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up, I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter. from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV. Create every day.
We absolutely do create every day. Lots of you let me know what your favourite Christmas song is, which is awesome. We've got Christmas wrapping? No, Christmas wrapping. Oh, Christmas wrapping. Christmas wrapping. I've only got a few more weeks of the braces being in, by the way, because there'll be a lot less slip-ups once these are out. Christmas wrapping by the waitresses, although I'd quite like to hear the other version now, is Rose's favourite. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nibbling at your nose is Lorraine's favourite. The Christmas song sung by Nat King Cole is Roseanne's favourite. Candice's White Christmas, sung by Bing Crosby, takes back to my grandma and grandpa's on Christmas Day. Lena says that they like good old Chris Rea, Driving Home for Christmas. You can't beat that one. That'll be Jan tonight on the motorway.
That's going to be in an hour or so.
Johnny Mathis, any song by him? Because it reminds me of my mum. I don't think I'm familiar with Johnny Mathis.
When a child is born.
Oh, that one.
Dee, 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 dee. Dee, 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 dee. I can't remember. I'm rubbish at words, but I know the tune.
Sing out, Louise. For me, a traditional "Oh Come All You Faithful," and of course, I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
I'm not sure I know that one.
Heard that one. Joy says, hello everyone from Riverdale. Very late, but happy to see I can catch some of the show live. Do you want to come in, John? Give the people what they want. Come on in, you come.
Oh, they all want to say hello, John.
Say hello. What's your favourite Christmas song? I just said that Rose Crane's favourite Christmas song was Christmas Wrapping by the Waitresses.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, it's a good one. Bing Crosby's White Christmas, what was yours?
Shaking Stevens, yeah. How did we forget
Any
that
particular
one?
song?
His only Christmas song.
He only did
Do you
one.
know what it's called?
Give me a minute.
He obviously loves it. It's his favourite.
Having fun. Tis the season. Love and understanding.
Is it just called Merry Christmas, everyone?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. We'll probably get. PRS will be on us. Okay, Charlotte, that's enough. The PRS will probably be on our case now after that. A lot of people agreeing that the Kelly Clarkson Ariana Grande's one is nice, the new one. And Oh Holy Night is Mary Pat's favourite one. Mary Pat 1000. Love playing it on the piano. Oh, love that one. Any Christmas song by Pentatonic, says Rhonda. I must admit, I love a bit of Pentatonics.
Yes,
Are you all right?
me too. I do. I listen to those a lot. Yes.
Do you?
Fascinates me.
So good, aren't they?
Yes, fascinates me.
They were on tour a couple of years ago before, the world stopped.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually get a chance to see them on, unfortunately.
Oh,
Fred
I
says,
tell you what else I like. I like a bit of Boney M.
Do you?
Yeah. Mary's boy child, Jesus Christ.
Who's Feliz
was
Navidad?
born on Christmas Day.
That one. I like that. I do like that one.
Yes.
Who sings Feliz Navidad? Who sings that?
We're not sure.
I wish you a Merry Christmas. That one. We could find out. Joy says, Handsome John, all in capitals. Fred says, I like You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. That is quite a good song. Do like that one. Anyway, Johnny, what are we meant to be doing? Triptych Dies, that's where we are going next. Let's
Back in the building.
Back in the room. 3, 2, 1. Not Christmas yet. It is Christmas week, though. We are nearly there.
Oh.
The turkey is getting fat. It's nearly time, isn't it?
5 more sleeps.
5
more sleeps until you're coming home.
Can't remember what, Johnny. Charlotte is very impressed with my dancing. Oh Holy Night. Oh no, I've got a bad hip at the moment as well. Imagine what I'm like when I'm fully on form, when I'm at full fitness. Honestly, a triple threat. I reckon it's only a matter of time before I get an EGOT, personally. Sorry, Charlotte? What was that? Oh, I'm holding the Triptych Dies, Charlotte. Just waiting for you to take a close-up of them. There we are. So you've got Oh Holy Night, which is this one just here. We also have Santa Over Rooftops. You're going to get included. This one's gorgeous. This is Magnificent Forest. So these can be quite festive, but also could be all year round as well, as could the Charming Church. You've got Fairies and Florals. And you've got the quaint village in here as well, which is amazing. 51.66 or 59.22. Save £42 or $48. Who is comment with that, Johnny's? Sorry? Ro just said, how are you still single? Joe, with moves like that? I ask myself this every day, Ro. I don't know. Jose Feliciano sung Feliz Navidad. Adriana, Joy and Mary all letting me know that, which is fabulous. Anyway, Triptych dies, Jan.
Right, a little bit of Triptych, yes. So I have tried to choose the ones that are not necessarily Christmas related for my demos because, like I said, we're very close to Christmas now. I know a lot of people have done their Christmas cards, but again, with having them in this collection, you've got something to put ready for next year. But there are several of them that are more sort of generic. So I've chosen the Magical Forest here, which has got those lovely stags in. And depending on how you decorate it, obviously depends on what your finished project looks like. So the idea behind the Triptych is that we've got 3 dies that are going to create that scene. And none of these have got a complete external cutting edge. Where the dies cut, there are gaps in it. And each time there's a gap in the cutting line, that's going to stay anchored to the card. So we're actually going to put these face down like so and cut out those 3 images to create that scene across the card. Now I'm actually going to cut these into a box lid. So I've measured out my craft card and I've scored it, I think it was at 1.5 inches all the way round, and that's left me sufficient space here to actually line these up again. So again, I'm going to use my 11.5 inches is going to be 5 3/4. So I've got my centre point there, and I always start with the middle one in the centre. In fact, I'm just going to fold that down so that I can get it a little bit closer. So you can
Rose
see
says,
there.
maybe Christmas whapping is when we can get Ben to record.
Okie dokes. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sort of go with the central part of the die and line that up on that 5 3/4 mark. And I'm looking for about an equal distance top and bottom. And then once I'm happy with that in place, we can take that into place and make sure it doesn't move. And then we've got these for either side, which I can now position and leave the required gap in between. So we need another couple of bits of tape. Okay. And then we're going to decide, you decide how much you want to leave. I'm going to leave quite a decent gap in these tonight. So I want to line up the bottom here. I'm looking at this side just to eyeball it and get it reasonably straight. And then once we're happy, pop that tape in place again. And then this one, again, I want to try and mirror that gap, just checking that this side's straight and that I'm on sort of the same line at the bottom there. And then we're going to pop this through our Gemini. So for this particular one, even though each of the smaller dies will fit through the smaller machines, because I've got that larger area of cardstock there, I'm going to stick with my large Gemini plates. So they are just thin metal dies, and because I'm working on craft card, I'm not going to pop the metal shim in. They are detail, but with the craft card we'll be fine. The other demo that I've got with these is using glitter card, so we will add the metal shim in there for the so that it can cut against it through the glitter card with it having that coating on. But for the craft card, we should be good with those. So let's just take those out and have a little look. So again, I'm going to take the tape off first and just get rid of that. And then have a look and see if for any reason your dies are not coming away as well as you would like. You can either use your die brush on them, or what I tend to do is turn it over, and then I prefer to release, get rid of the bits there, release the card from the actual die itself. You have a bit more control, I find, lifting it out this way, and then we can pop those dies to one side. So you've just got 1 or 2 pieces in there now that need popping through. And then we're actually going to do a little bit of work on the back of this, but just look at that design. I think it's beautiful, and again, doesn't have to be Christmas related. When you see how I've decorated this one, it doesn't look Christmassy at all. So if I pop that shim behind it, you'll be able to see that detail a little bit better there. But just look, it's almost like looking through a window there. Actually, that looks really nice, doesn't it? You could have the vellum behind it. Maybe put lights inside would look really good as well, wouldn't it? But you've created that scene. You've got all the little forest animals there. We're going to do a bit of work with those. So what I'm going to do is just jump to the one that I've done prepared at home, because I've started some work on this one. And I've cut exactly the same, but I've actually started popping some extra pieces on. So you can just see here where we've got that drop shadow behind it. So the middle one hasn't been done. You can see that looks quite plain. And then this one, I've added a little bit of drop shadow, and I've also added some gilding wax to the front of it there. So for the drop shadow, I've just taken some pieces of darker cardstock and literally just cut these through with that one piece so that I've got them ready. And then what I'm going to do is actually pop these behind, line them up, and then I like to come just slightly right and slightly down, so that it creates that shadow behind it. It does, I think it just alters the look of it altogether. So we're going to pop that one together, and then we're going to do a little bit of the work with the gilding wax. So I'm just going to put some wet glue just on the back here, just in places to make sure that we've got that piece anchored. So just a few little bits in some of those key places, and then I'm literally going to go around on the top section here, round the edge of this, because this is all going to stick onto the back there. So again, I tend to put this one down, just put a little bit across there as well. So anywhere that's on those little light areas, I tend to just dab the glue a little bit just to make sure it's not going to squeeze out. And then, like I said, just hover over as if you were going to line it up perfectly. And then I tend to just go slightly onto the left there and just slightly down a bit. So what it's done is it's exposed that brown just to give me that slight shadow all the way down there. And then once you're happy with it, you can seal that one in place. So you can see now we've just got a little bit of glue on there. Can you see how it's created that sort of, let me put it back on there for you, can see it better on there. Just created around the edge here that little bit of shadow to match the two that I've already done. It does make quite a big difference. And then we're going to take the gilding wax, let me just pop that pin back in there for a second, and just add a little bit of this to that central panel there, just on the top. So again, I've just got the King Gold there, but you can use any of your gilding waxes. I just love the combination of this with the craft card. It is a, you know how much I love my craft card anyway.
Could you use two different gilding waxes together?
You can, absolutely. They blend beautifully. So yeah, you could actually sort of grade it so that you've got a lighter sort with the Empire into the King Gold and into the Renaissance to get like that ombre type of effect. Would look great if you've got all the colours. But I just wanted to add a little bit of detail there, just to give it a bit more.
You snipped out those deers and made it quite snobby. It's almost a bit sort of like a mountain, like an alpine sort of mountain scene, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm just going to take a wipe and get rid of that excess gilding wax there off there, so that we're not transferring that onto the rest of the project. And then I've got a piece of acetate to pop behind this now, just to seal it, because obviously if we're going to pop a gift in there, you don't want some sort of gaps in it where that could escape. So once we've got rid of that, I'm just going to give that a little buff with the cloth there. Just be gentle
buff it up
with those little spiky bits there. I'm not going to press on too much. And then I've got a piece of acetate that we're just going to pop on the back there and seal that all in nicely, so that we've got acetate behind that section. So again, I've popped some some tape on the edge of there, just the red line tape. I find again with the acetate, it's one of the best things to secure it with. And I've just gone round with the very fine one so that I can literally pop this over the top there, just inside that lid, and make sure that that one's stuck in nice and secure there. So again, I'm just going to go around and make sure that that tape's nicely stuck down on the inside. Okay. Now you could actually fit a shaker element inside there if you wish, but I'm just going to leave it at that now. But I've got that acetate in there so that it stops, you know, anything falling through if you're going to put a smaller item in here. And then I've taken some pieces of cardstock. We're just going to pop these round the edge. And oh, I fell in love with this. I think Hard Debs had the Hunky Dory cartload a couple of weeks ago.
She did, yes.
Oh, and there was was it vintage newsprint, I think it was. Oh my goodness, I had to have that, and that's what I've taken this from. So I've cut a piece. I've already popped my box base together, and I've cut a piece that sits inside the base, and then these were obviously the offcuts that I've just mounted on the same brown card that I did the drop shadow in, so that it all links together nicely. But honestly, that pack of cardstock, I don't know whether there's any left or not now, but it was just beautiful. So that sort of found its way into my stash, and I thought for what I wanted to do here and make it look a bit more masculine, this was a perfect sort of colour combination. So again, we'll just pop those on with the tape pen, and I do like to do this sort of decorating while the box is flat. I just find it easier to pop all this together, and then we can actually seal those corners as a final element. So again, just make sure that writing is the right way up. And then what I did with the scraps that were left over from this was just use the dies, and wherever I'd got an element that had one of the animals in, so for example, you've got the stag on this one here, just use some scraps and cut out all the little animals in a little bit of scrap from that newsprint card that was left over. So it's the same cardstock as this. And what I want to do is overlay these. I've just popped them through my little sticky machine, and I just want to highlight those animals. So I'm just going to overlay these now on that die cut area so that they just stand out a little bit more. And again, with them being die cut, we can line those up perfectly over the craft card. I've still got that brown shadow showing underneath then. So we've got a couple at this side, and that's just linking it in.
This is a really awesome project, Jan. I'm loving this.
Just linking it in now with those side pieces. So again, we've got a couple at this side. It almost looks like a little family. We've got Dad here, proud in the middle, and we've got Mum and Baby. And then there's what looks like I think this one's a little fox at this side. And then we've got a little tiny squirrel just running up the tree there. So all the animals I've just done to pick those out and give them a little bit of a focal point there. And then we're ready to just pop those corners together. So again, it's quite substantial with those mats and layers on. It will hold a nice gift in here. And because I've popped the cardstock, the Hunky Dory cardstock was a good weight. So because I've popped a piece in the bottom of the box itself, it's going to be quite sturdy, this. So you could actually pop a decent weight gift in something like this. But we'll just make sure that those are all stuck down. And then I'm just going to give them a little burnish where that red line tape is, make sure that it's all adhered nicely. And then I've already popped the base together for us. Stick those down, all the way down. And then, as I say, I've cut a piece of that paper to just fit in the bottom there. And then this one's going to fit over the top. And you've got that lovely gift box there, as I say, which is actually quite sturdy with all those mats and layers on there. Just showing that triptych die off there in those 3 panels. And again, nothing Christmassy about it. And this is what I wanted to show you, that even though there were some designs in there that could be Christmassy, you can use them all year round as well. Oh, I've not put my little, I've got a sentiment and a bow as well. Let me pop my little sentiment on just while you're finishing off, Joe.
Wonderful. Let me just, let's recap the triptych dies firstly, which are these ones just here. So remember what you're getting in here. You're going to get Oh Holy Night included. Then you've also got Santa over the rooftops, Magical Forest, which is the one Jan's just used, Charming Church, Fairies and Florals, and of course the quaint village in there. They are all available individually if you wanted to get them individually as well, but the saving is so great when you get them together. You save $42.27 or $48.47. That's before you think about your Club Inspired discount as well. Oh, you done, Jan?
It was looking a little bit bare. I thought I've missed something there, but yeah, I had actually created a little sentiment and a bow just to offset there. It looked a bit bare on the front, but yeah, just finishing it off, sending love. Again, it could be used for a birthday, retirement, whatever. And again, if just imagine that done in all the whites and the glitter cards, again, would look much more seasonal, depending on how you decorate it.
Fabulous. Well, I also want to give you details of the tricolour marker as well. Always so incredibly popular whenever we feature these. Easy to see why, because what you've of course got is so many different colours. You've got 12 markers, but 36 colours in here, because you've got each marker in each. This is of course one of the 3 packs. Each marker has 3 different colours. Those colours blend together beautifully, and you get 3 sets, all in complementary colours that will work together, which is fantastic. So you've got grey outdoors, floral meadow, essential neutrals, and you'll get the colour basics in there as well, which is fantastic. So make sure you grab those, $29.97 or $44.85, which is brilliant. You're buying 3, you're getting 1 free, which is rather fabulous. Need to talk to you again about the Monday mega deal as well. This one here, fabulous. It's it's a 6x6 fab file. Was it the 8? No, 6x6. I always questioned it because, of course, when Tiffany talks about the sizing, they're then oversized so you can accommodate that style, size of projects or papers in them. You get the little files in here, so they're brilliant for organising different papers, stamps, dies, stencils as well. So anything that gets a bit mucky, like your stencils, keep them in these little wallets, and it's going to mean that it's going to stop it getting all over the rest of your stash, which is great. But what we're also going to give you in here is some 6x6 pads to go with this to get you started. 3 of our most popular ones. So you've got the Garden Party, which is this one just here, very floral and lacy, which is lovely. The Farmhouse from our Nature's Garden collection, which is another lovely one. Lots of florals in there, really quite bold and vivid, that one. And then of course Autumn Blessings as well, which is fabulous, and that of course got that really lovely autumnal brown and orange vibe to it, which is brilliant. $16.22 or $22.64 if you want to get your hands on those, which is amazing. What were your Secret Santa gifts this year is what Ro wants to know. Mine was a pair of socks with my face on it, which from John, which ironically was exactly the same thing that I bought Ben. Except Ben hated his and I loved mine, so yeah. What was yours, Jan?
I haven't opened mine.
Have you not? Why
I'm
not?
the rebel of the bunch, yeah, because I know such a lot of them have opened it.
Do you not? You meant to open it at work, surely?
I know. Well, I picked mine up, and I like to open mine at Christmas. I'm a bit naughty. Well,
Johnny, do you know who got? Do you know who Jan?
I don't know who my Secret Santa is.
Who did you have to get? Has the person you gave yours to received theirs yet?
Yes, but I don't know whether they knew it was me or not. Because there's a name in the title. It's a secret. No.
Oh, come on,
It's a secret. There's a clue there in the title. It's not tell everybody Santa, is it?
But I thought it was meant to be Secret Santa until after you've given it, and then you know.
I don't know. I don't know.
You said that with some conviction, Jan. Sophie says about those last dies. Personally, wasn't a fan of these dies, but seeing this demo, I might need to get them. It's amazing how many different ways you can make a product up. Faye says beautiful project. Jan, that is lovely, says Brenda. And Deborah says I need a sticker machine now. Love this box. This says Fred, Caroline saying how stunning that is as well. This collection was a fall in love at first sight for me, and of course I paid a lot more for it. Says Mary Pat 1000. Right, we're going to move on. We're going to go back to the stamps and stencils, which are these ones just here, which will please Jan, no doubt, because I know how much she enjoys putting these ones together. These are then the 5 ones you're getting, 5 different styles you're getting in here. A few every day, couple of festive ones. You've got classy florals there, the Yuletide foliage, your holly and poinsettia. Poinsettia or poinsettia? Poinsettia, thought so. And also the violet roses are in there as well. $51.96 or $59.80 if you want to get your hands on these. They're just right up your street, these, aren't they, Jan?
They are, Yeah, and this one's dedicated to our producer Johnny, because, especially on request, for the last time this year, Mr. Producer Johnny, I've got to bring out the heat tool for you, so I could not include any embossing. So we're going to use the violet roses, and I do apologise because the way that the demos have fell, I've ended up with 2 boxes together, but again, it's just giving you some ideas of how to use them. So we've got that beautiful stamp set again, exactly the same concept as what we did earlier on in the show. You've got the 3 different layers, and then you've got several sentiments, along with that lovely little stencil there to create the banner in the middle. So what we're going to do is change it up slightly, in that I'm going to do the first layer with some embossing powder. So again, we're working on craft card, but I'm going to team this up with black and red, which is quite a dramatic colour combination, but I was really pleased with the result when I'd had a go with this. So again, I've just got an oversized piece of card so that I can get it anchored down well and it's not going to move. I'm also going to use my little anti-static pad because we're going to do some heat embossing. So this has just got like a chalky substance in. If you don't have one of these, you can use something like baby talc or cornstarch, anything like that. And it's basically removing any kind of, whether it's oil from your skin where you've handled the card or anything like that, because the embossing powder will literally stick to whatever's there. So I'm just going to give that a good pass over with the anti-static pad, and then I've got some fine detail white embossing powder, which looks terrific on the craft card, and I've got my translucent sticky ink. Are you all right over there, Joe?
Yeah, I'm just...
I just saw him disappear downstairs, and I thought he'd passed out.
I think it might have been the dancing. I've had a bit of a dodgy hip lately. I'm just giving it a bit of a... Just doing a few squats.
I just saw you slowly disappear down there behind the tail. I thought, is he all right over there?
Looks like I'm melting. No, I'm just giving it a bit of a stretch.
Right, so we're going to start with piece number 1 then, which is... Now then, I'm telling fibs again because I did the foliage first in the white. So this is actually... I'm going rogue again because I'm starting with number 3. But there's no reason why you can't mix and match these. So I'm just having a look at the one I've done, and it wants to go like so. So again, I'm just going to aim for the middle because I'm going to cut it into the size that I want it. And you can see again where we've got that gap, creating that gap in the middle there where our little stencil's going to fit eventually to pop the detail in. So that one's going to go on first. And what I'm going to do is stamp this in the translucent ink, and then I just need a piece of cardstock to catch my embossing powder in. So I'm just going to grab that at the ready, and then we're going to ink up that first layer with that clear ink, and then this will allow the embossing powder to stick nicely to that one. So that's going to go on first. Again, press that down and commit to your stamp. And then because this stays sticky for a little bit longer than the other types of ink, we've got time to then take this off and add some of that embossing. Now I've got the fan on, so I'm hoping it doesn't all blow all over the place there. So again, we're just going to pop this over the top, and it looks as if you're using absolutely loads of it, but obviously most of that is going to come back off there. Just got a little bit of stray something or other in there. I'm not sure what it looks like. A bit of cotton. There we go. So you can see where we've got that lovely sort of stamped image now, and then the rest of this just goes back in the pot out the way, and we'll get the lid on that before the fan blows it all over. Okay, so I'm happy with that. If you've got any little stray specks on there, you can just take a dry paint brush and just pull any of those pieces out that you don't want. But with the anti-static powder on there, it should keep those at bay. And then what I'm going to do is pop the heat tool on and get that up to temperature. So whenever you're heat embossing, it's better, the less time you spend with it on your card, the less chance there is of the card warping. So I want to actually get this nice and warm before we actually start heating it onto the cardstock. There's something in my embossing powder that shouldn't be there. It looks like a tiny little bit of thread, and now I've moved. I'm going to leave that on so that it warms up. Not that I'm a perfectionist or
No,
anything
not
like
at all.
that, not at all. That's better. There was like a little bit of thread or something in my embossing powder, which was very rude. So now we've got that up to temperature. Again, you can heat from above it or below it. I'm going to come from below so that you can see that transformation. But at the moment, it's all very matte white. This will go nice and shiny. So I'm going to start over this side here. Just don't get too close to your card. You don't want to scorch the card. But you can see, I have turned it on, and you can see now here where that's actually turning pure white. And it's going nice and shiny there as well.
Makes Johnny so happy, this silent heat tool.
I know. So as soon as it's turned, you want to move on to the next part. Don't hover over it once it's changed.
I heat embossed for the first time yesterday, Jan.
Did you?
Yeah, in Debbie's craft along.
Excellent.
I got told off for wafting too much, though, apparently.
Yeah, you just
I'm a bit
need
of a
to keep
wafter.
it nice and still. And once it's melted, then you move on to the next bit. So you can see there, we've got that lovely sort of embossed, and it looks a bit odd at the minute because we've not got the rest of the design with it. But I'm now going to pop it back in position, and we're going to do the rest of the stamping now over the top. Now, it does take a second or two just to sort of set, but while I'm swapping the stamps over, we should be fine. So we're going to pop that one back on the carrier sheet again. And then the next one I'm going to take is the number 2. So I'm actually working backwards here, but not to worry. And again, you can see now we've got, does it want to be that way or that way? No, it wants to be that way, doesn't it? Yeah. So we're just going to pop this. I've got these little pieces here are the centres of the flowers. So again, it's fairly easy to line this up because I can see through that clear stamp, and I can see those centres are in position now. And then you've also got the flowers on the edge of the stems there as well. So it's nice and easy to line it up if you're not using that right angle system. But again, if you want to mark on your grid, I usually just use a permanent marker on the grid there. Where that right angle lands, then you can line each one up if you're using something like the magnetic base. So this time we're going to go to our quick dry inks, and we're going to go with red and black. So as I say, it's quite striking this. It's a nice contrast with the craft card. So this is going to be done in the red. And I've chosen those quick dries. We've got them on the show for you. And again, they're literally dry so that I can overstamp and not worry too much about whether it's going to smudge or not. So this one's going to go in the gap there.
Rose says I should give Ben the pair of socks with my face on, seeing as he didn't like the ones with his face on so much. He has suggested that we swap one sock each.
I saw that. I quite like the idea of you wearing one each. I think that would be quite funny.
I think it's all right until like you wear them on your last day at work here, and you stop for fuel on the way home, and you've got
two faces.
Some random man on your ankles. Well, I mean, it's better than having you. I mean, no better than having yourself on your ankles, I guess.
That is hilarious, honestly. So again, I'm just going to do, with this being craft card and it being a little bit more absorbent, I'm just going to pop another layer. Because I've used my stamping platform, I know that this is going to go in exactly the same place, and it'll just give me a bit more vibrancy of colour with that red there. You can see that it's actually popping a little bit better. So again, I'm just going to take the cloth and get rid of that excess ink. We're going to pop this one back. And then I've got that final one, which is going to give me like an outline over the design, and I'm going to do that in the black. So again, we can line this up quite simply. We've got the same flowers there, and we've got little elements that are going to fit in these red pieces. So you can see it does line up quite easily. And then once you're happy, pick it up again with the platform. And this time I'm going to go in with that black quick dry. So it's quite a dramatic effect with this now, because we've got, I wouldn't normally include black in this kind of design, but I just wanted something. And because the box base is going to be black, it all links together nicely. So again, pop that one in there. And we'll see what that's like as to whether that needs another stamp down with the colour. The black's not too bad. But when you see that now, yeah, it does need another one there. We'll just pop that and ink it.
Very striking colour combo this
It is, yeah. And I must admit, it's I'm usually into all the pastels, but I've been going through a phase where I have been doing sort of brighter colour projects. So again, just to make it a little bit more bold and stand out. As I say, the craft card's very porous, so it does soak up the ink more so than using such as a stamping card. Now, all that you need to be aware of with this, I'm just going to take a clean wipe here. And obviously, quick dry ink will only dry on a porous surface. Now, there are certain little tiny pieces here where the ink's gone over the embossing powder. And it's not going to dry because that embossing powder is not porous. So what I want to do before I go any further and smudge it is just on those little pieces.
You're just going to dab it off?
I'm literally just going to wipe it off with a wet baby wipe there. So not too much. I don't want to smudge the ink too much, but just literally pushing it back into the design there with that, so that you can see a little bit more where it's actually meant to be. So again, just those little pieces where it's overlapped. That's it, I'm okay with that now. Yep, it's just smudged it a little bit there, but I can live with that. And then again, let's get rid of the platform for a minute. We've now actually got the facility now to fit that gorgeous little banner inside again. And I'm going to do that with, I'm going to go like I did on the earlier one, I'm going to go back to the opaque pigment, which is a fraction lighter because of the nature of the ink. It's a little bit lighter than the water reactive and the quick dry. And again, I want this to sort of fade a little bit into the background. So just lining that up, I can see through there where it needs to be. And again, I'd just like to come from the edges into the middle, rather than do the whole thing. And I think it just gives it that illusion that there's some shaping to it there. So again, you can see just underneath there where we've got that banner going on now. This will all clean up just with a wet cloth because it's not going to dry on that surface again on the stencil work.
It reminds me of something, this colour combo, but for the life of me, I've been searching, I can't remember what it is. Do you know what it is? It's very Mother of the Bride. That's what I think it might be.
I think it's quite almost gothic looking, isn't it, I think? So again, you've got lots of different sentiments on there, but I chose thanks so much, you're the best. So again, this is just going to fit perfectly in that design there. And because I've taken it off the other platform, I'll just grab the little one there for this one, just to get that in the centre. And I'm going to go back to that black quick dry for the sentiment in the middle there. And again, just line it up over the banner. And it's all shaped, the wording's all shaped to fit in there nicely. And you can see there where we've got that detail going on. So I'll tidy those up in a second. And then what I did was cut this down to the size that I wanted to work with and mount it on some black to bring that black ink in. So you can see there where we've got two very, very similar, but just by cutting it down, it brings it more into proportion. And then I also want to add a red layer under there as well to bring all those colours together. So I've got some tape on the back of here, and this is some of my tape from home. I've not seen it before. I've had this a while, but it's actually black double-sided tape. So when I'm using the black cardstock, it means that you don't see that white foam behind it. So it's just one, as I say, that I got off the internet. And sometimes when I'm using the black, I like to use that. So this is going to matte and layer on a bit of the red textured cardstock from our textured pads there. And then I've created my box lid at the ready, and this is going to go now onto the black box. So you can see all those colours have come together now. So we're going to pop this one, do it with a little bit of collal, I think, on there, just to give it a bit of strength. So again, this is going to go on top of the box. And then I've got some side panels just to join everything together. Is this a colour combo you normally do, Jan?
Pardon? If I had to pick a Jan project out of a lineup, I must say this wouldn't be one of yours that I would pick. It's very different to your normal style.
I've gone very different with this. I just wanted to try and show, because I'm always very pastel, very pretty, a little bit shabby chic sometimes, and I just thought I want to go just that bit more dramatic with this. So we've got that there, and then I've just cut, again, I've gone back to the craft card just to link everything together, and we're just going to pop those around the sides there. So again, I think we'll stick with the collal on there because that's going to soak into the craft card nicely. And just pop those. So you can see how we've brought all those colours together, which is where I got the stamping combination. I just thought, yeah, and I know the white always looks nice on the craft card. It's not something we do very often, but it's a really good contrast on the craft. So again, I've just cut some little die-cut flowers. I just felt as if those sides needed a bit of something, and the flowers actually pick up what we've got in there. Again, just pop those last two on, and I've already got the base one popped together ready for you because that one's really straightforward.
There is a suggestion in the comments that Crafters Companion should sell socks with our faces on them.
Socks with our face?
Yeah. Wondering who would be the most popular, who would look best on feet, I'm not sure.
Ooh, now then, there's a thought.
Yeah, a lot of people loving this though. Mary loving the white embossing on the craft. Caroline, Pam, Panda Crafts, Mary, Stacey, all saying just how beautiful this is. It is gorgeous.
It's just a bit different, isn't it? Yeah. And as I say, I wanted it to be quite dramatic.
It could be a with sympathy, don't you think?
It could. I was thinking more, you know, once we've got Christmas out of the way, the next sort of big event's going to be Valentine's Day, isn't it? So I think this would be perfect for a nice Valentine's gift. So again, you've seen us pop those boxes. Now I have to be careful now because my collal is still a little bit wet and I don't want to move those side pieces there. So just make sure that's all fastened together nicely. Try not to move the pieces on the side too much. And then I would normally burnish that inside, but I'm just conscious that those panels are still a little bit wet. So we'll leave it as it is. And I've just created the plain black on the base for this to sit on. And I was thinking, as I say, quite a nice little Valentine's gift I thought would fit in there for you. So again, using those, but how different. You know, that was the different design that we used earlier. Same concept, but two totally different projects with them.
Really,
just by changing
really
the colour
fabulous.
scheme, yeah?
Absolutely gorgeous. They are. Don't miss out on those. They are brilliant. 51.96 or 59.80. Let me just take you back through the different designs again that you've got in there. So you've got the Wild Meadow. You also have Classy Florals. Oh, sorry. And then you've got Yuletide Foliage, Holly and Poinsettia, and the Violet Roses as well. It's really busy on these at the moment across on the website, so I'm going to give you an opportunity to check those baskets out. Whilst you do that, here's all the details of Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you, and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet. The neighbours.
I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing.
Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us. You give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
Joy, there's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up, I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV. Create every day.
We do create every day. I think, Jan, should we do a demo of the show? Do you have a finished one of your last demo?
No, I've got it sort of work in progress, so I think we're just going to have to go with the 4.
You're definitely going to win today, though, so we're all good.
So we started at the top of the show then with those window reveal dies, and we did the little, just a note to say, and that little birdie bringing the note in there. So that was number 1. And then number 2, we went to those lovely interchangeable stamps and sentiments, and we made the easel card there. So that was number 2. Number 3, we used the Triptychs to make the gift box. So that was number 3 with those lovely stags and woodland animals on there. And then number 4, we've just gone back to those interchangeable stamps and made that rather striking little gift box ready for a nice Valentine's gift in that one. So 1, 2, 3 or 4. I am going to do a 5th demo, but I don't have a finished. It's sort of a card in progress for you to show you those last Triptych dies yet.
Awesome. We're going to go back there then, because they are very, very popular at the moment. Let me take you back through the different designs you are getting. 6 different designs in here for you. So you've got Oh Holy Night, which is this nativity scene there. Then we have this one, Santa Over the Rooftops. Not long now. He'll be getting his sleigh ready, won't he, Jan?
Yeah, be polishing it and checking the oil. And does it have oil? Does it need any oil?
I don't think it needs any oil. I
No.
think just lots of reindeer feed.
Got the reindeers, hasn't he? Yeah.
He'll be filling his sack. He'll be really nearly ready to go. Magical Forest is this one just here as well. You've got the checking the tyres, making sure his MOT's in, putting the topping the battery water up. This one is Magical Forest. I hope he's got breakdown cover. I hope there's no travel restrictions placed on him, because there's been a lot. I mean, I hope
got a lot of work to do.
I hope he's doing Germany and France first before he comes here, because we're not allowed to travel there as of tomorrow, as of yesterday.
Gosh.
So if he comes here first and then tries to go there, he'll have to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of the world won't get them until the middle of January.
And he's going to have to readjust all the sleigh pattern to keep the reindeers a metre apart, isn't he?
Absolutely he is, yeah. He's going to have to lengthen his reins, isn't he? Anyway, you'll also get the charming church in here. You will get the fairies and florals, and also the quaint village as well. So do grab those. 51.66, 59.20. John, I'm going to make him come in. You can hear him at home, so you're going to make him come in. We're going to have to stop the show a second until we get John. Is he coming in?
He's hiding.
No, he's not. He's too embarrassed. He's caused a kerfuffle. Shall we go? Let's go back to Jan. I feel like all the wheels are coming off of the sleigh at the moment.
They
Jan.
are, aren't they? Yeah. It's because they didn't check them, you see. Is he?
Hang on, he's here now. It's something about a smelly wipe. What happened?
Oh, just smell them.
Oh.
Oh.
Why do they smell so funny? Why does that make you laugh so much? Oh,
This is what happens when it gets late on at night, isn't it?
You can tell it's getting very close to the Christmas break, can't you?
It's nearly home time.
Very close. John and his smelly wipes, everyone. Right, back to Jan.
Right, last one for tonight then. We're going to go back to those triptych and we're going to do the charming church. This would make a beautiful sort of wedding card, something along those lines. So again, I've taken out the metalwork. It's exactly the same principle as we did earlier in the show with those stags. And I'm going to bring in this time that metal shim. Because we're cutting through glitter card, we're going to work onto the metal shim and make sure we've got a nice cut there. So again, just going to take some double-sided tape, no, some low-tack tape. The brain's going now. It's getting late. And again, do the same trick. I've got a piece that measures 7 1/4. So I'm just going to sort of eyeball. And I want this across the top. We're going to add some decoration lower down. So let's have a look. Half of, there we go, is about there. So I always like to position that centre one first and get that in place with a bit of tape, and then you can decide how far apart you want them and where you're going to pop those ones at either side. So again, just a little tiny gap in between them this time, making sure they're as straight as they can be at the bottom.
It's very close between 3 and 4, Jan. Very, very close.
It's an ups a daisy. That's that. The low-tack tape doesn't like sticking to the glitter card. And then again, that last one, I just want to create about the same gap there and make sure that those bases are about level. And then what we're going to do is pop that straight onto the metal shim there and pop that through our Gemini. So same plates, apart from adding the metal shim, but because that glitter card is coated,
What now, John?
it just gives it an extra bit of pressure. Honestly. Do you know, I'm going to have words when they're finished.
What's wrong? What now?
I'm going to have
Jan's
words
not
with
happy,
them.
John.
Honestly, they're losing it out
Honestly,
there.
the headmistress of craft is not. She's
Yes,
put it
I'm
in
going
for
to have
you.
words. I'm going to have him in the office when I've done.
Wow. Number 3, please, Jan.
Number 3 was the stags there. Thank you. I say.
Drop the bottle.
My voice is disappearing, isn't it?
It is going,
fast?
isn't it?
Yeah, I just thought, oh, do you know, my husband will be like, yes, a bit of peace and quiet. Oh, here we go. Right, so let's pop those out, and you can see then when we turn this over, by adding that metal shim in there, we've got that beautiful cut there, straight through without any problem, just that metal to metal on there. So whenever you've got a coated cardstock, it is beneficial to just pop that metal shim in there. And again, if we take the tape back off now, it's done its job, it's held them in place for when we did the cut, and just lift that back off. And then again, depending on how well, you know, if they're not lifting straight off, flick it over and actually lift the cardstock. You can see you've got much more control that way. And we'll just get rid of some of those bigger pieces and then use the either the die brush. Again, with glitter card, it's just breaking the contact. It's almost a little bit like popping out like what's the word? Perforated is the word I was looking for. Yeah, you know when you have to just pop the perforations.
Do you want me to just get the card of the day done whilst you're getting
You could, yeah, just while I take the pieces out. That's a good idea,
Let
Joe.
me just share with you then what your 3 options are. So number 1 was your reveal the window, which is this one just here. I love that one. Then number 2 was this from our foiling masterclass a little earlier. Number 3, the box from Monday Makers. 1, 2 or 3, you decide. Let me know. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion, of course, on YouTube.
Right, so I've just taken the rest of those pieces out now, and you can see how we've created that gorgeous scene there. We've got the little horse and carriage driving up the driveway, ready to attend the church. So as I say, it would make a lovely, I think, a wedding card, this one, or even an anniversary card, something like that. Again, if if it was a wedding, picking out the colours of the actual wedding would look great. So again, just breaking that connection with the glitter card there. And you can see there, I think we've got all the bits out. I've got one ready done anyway. You can see there's just a few in that little tree, and then as I say, I've got it ready cut.
You've used the glitter card a lot today, which always pleases me, Jan, I must say.
I do like a little bit of
Brilliant,
sparkle,
isn't it?
Joe, yeah, yeah. So again, beautiful scene on there. As I say, you've got that gorgeous weeping willow in the corner. You've got the horse and carriage coming up the pathway and the church at the top of the path. I just think it's really nice. And these have been created to create that sort of arch, that Gothic window style. So again, really, really well thought out. So we've done that. And then I've done a little bit of paper piecing for this one. So where I wanted the church to be a bit of a focal point in the centre. So if I bring in the one that I've started, you can just see there where I've actually cut it again with a little bit, it's not actually black, it's mirror card that's in there. If I tilt it, you can just see that. And I've popped some pieces behind the back here to create that stained glass effect at the top there. And then I've just filled in the roof and some of the windows with some colours just to highlight that church. And then what we're going to do with this one, and I was going to do the inking, but bearing in mind that time's going on, I've taken some stamping card and I have used our baby blue water reactive ink along with one of the sponge applicators, put my mask in place to create the background here. So you can see there when that's all been done, we've got that lovely background. Didn't worry about the bottom because that's going to be hidden behind the glitter card. And I've sort of focused some darker areas. I kept popping this over the top so that I could see where the darker areas, and then obviously the masking is going to be the moon there in the background behind it. So we'll pop all this together. I've got a card blank, nice big 8x8 card blank for this one to go on. So we'll pop that in there. Again, being very frugal there with the back of the cardstock. I always think, oh yes, I'm going to make another project out of what I've cut out of it, and then it ends up going in the scrap box because I haven't done anything with it. So I may as well just leave it in the card to start off with, but you just think, oh, I need to be a bit more frugal with it.
Good intentions, Jan. All good intentions.
That's the story of my life. Good intentions, and it never comes off. I'm usually too busy doing something else. All right, and then again, I'm just going to do the same with this one now. I'm not going to mount this on anything at all. The little bit of tape on the back was just a quick way of giving me something to stick those pieces that I've inset. So I've just put little tiny bits of red line tape on the back of the church, and that's allowed me to stick these little windows and the roof elements back in there. So again, we're just going to run tape down those outside edges, and then pop this straight over the top of that background. So I want some bits down there. If you want to add your dotty tape pen to the background there, you can actually get some glue on the back of those elements. I'm just going to go with a little bit of that for the time being. And then this is going to stick over the blue.
That's stunning, Jan, it really is.
And just leave that white mirror card border, that silver mirror card border. Totally losing the plot now.
Crafting Stacey says that these would be good for wedding centerpieces in a box with vellum and a tea light.
Yes,
nice idea.
they would, wouldn't it? I think it'd be lovely with the lights behind them, I must admit. Now that I've just made a strip here, bringing all those colours together with a little bit of blue ribbon to go over the front. But because we're going on to the glitter card, I'm going to take my wet glue now. And I like to use the PVA, the tacky glue, because this will seep into that glitter coating and it'll give you a good sort of adhesion there. So plenty of glue on the back of that. And I've just made this the width to go right across there for the bottom. As I say, bringing all those colours into play. And just hold that down a second, and then I've got a ribbon to go on there, and I've got a sentiment to go on there, and then I've got some little gems which I'm going to pop in the centre of the window. So we'll just finish that off with a little bit of glue on the centre of there. So that one's just winter wishes. Again, it could be a wedding, it could be a winter birthday, it could be an anniversary. Okay, and then a little tiny bit of the adhesive there just to pop the bow on. And then those little gems I was just going to stick in the centre there of those lovely windows, just to add with the glitter card, just to add that little bit of bling and bring that blue back in just to join everything together there. So yeah, really, really nice designs with these. I love these, the Triptych ones. I've really enjoyed having a play with them. So that's those windows decorated there. And again, when we pop that round, you can see there, as I say, it would make a lovely wedding card, I think, that one.
Really, really would.
You see that mirror card there, just taking centre stage.
Beautiful, really, really
Lovely.
beautiful. It's the Triptych ones actually that is a card of the day as well, Jan.
Yeah.
So your box is going
Thank
up
you very
on the
much.
shelf. It is the first of the...
Of course, it's Monday, isn't
oh,
it? Yeah.
Jan!
Oh!
You stand, I mean, statistically, you've got 1 in 4 chance of winning card of the week this week.
Oh, we've only got 4 nights,
We've only
haven't
got
we?
4 nights this
That'll
week,
all be
yeah.
done
That'll have to
Thursday,
be done
won't
on
it?
Thursday. And yeah, that'd be great. Make sure
There
you
we
do
go.
it Thursday. They're having a bit of a party on Thursday. I'm a bit gutted I'm not here, to be honest.
I know.
Yeah. Thursday, 7
did
p.m.
hear
Play Your
that.
Crafts Right. Debbie and Becky.
Yeah.
A Christmas party special. Who's going to be the? Do we know who the third person's going to be, Johnny? I thought it was going to be a third person. I thought it was going to be a special guest. Yeah. Tune in and find out. Oh, not quite sure. Anyway, let's take you back through these Triptych dies. Let me recap what we're getting in there then. So you're going to get the Oh Holy Night, Santa over the rooftops. This one here is your Magical Forest. Then you've got Christmas Church, sorry, Charming Church, your Fairies and Florals, and you'll also receive the Quaint Village in there as well. So that is those. Merry Christmas, Jan, says Susie. Which is,
Oh, thank
how nice
you.
is that? We also then, of course, had for you in this show the stamps and stencils, don't forget. These are still available for you. Brilliant, because of course they're stamps, so you can colour these up exactly how you wish. A couple of them are designed to be more festive, a few of them more everyday. You've got the Wild Meadow, you've also got Classy Florals, then the Yuletide Foliage. Now, this one here is a Holly and Poinsettia, and you've got the Violet Rose there as well. $41.57 or $47.84 is your price there on that. We also have for you the window reveals. These have been very popular. They're really cool concept, these. You can go for the window or reveal the setup on its own if you want. And this is the one that is your sort of main worker element and all the bits that you need. You've got your additional embellishing dies there as well. And you've got then these elements, these stamps to go in there as well. Don't buy that though, because for a few extra pounds, for an extra, what, £11, you get 6 sets of stamps and dies, which are going to help you embellish these beautifully. So you're going to get this one here, which is Reveal the Mighty Oak. You've also got Reveal the Feathers, Reveal the Bubbles, sorry, Reveal the Butterfly, Reveal the Rainbow, and then in there as well you've got your Reveal the Gift, which is fabulous, so do grab those. The other thing I need to tell you about, or remind you of I should say, is the Monday Mega Deal. It is your 6x6 fab file. These are brilliant, little handle on here, really nice and sturdy these. You're also going to get the wallets included too, which are brilliant for storing a whole host of things, papers, stencils, you name it, you can store it in there. Great for sort of loose toppers and things too, but room in there to store also your 6x6 paper pads, and we're going to give you a few paper pads in this deal as well to get you started. So 3 nice, really popular ones. You've got the garden party, which is this one here. You're also going to get the farmhouse in there, and you'll get as well Autumn Blessings, which is this one just here. Really, really awesome, those 3. 16.22 or 22.64 is your price there on that. Don't forget about the flash sale on the foil press as well over on the website, 25% off, but only for today. Jan, massive thank you. Wishing you a very, very Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a great start to the new year. I won't see you until probably what? Did you say sort of mid-January?
Mid-January, I think I'm back, yes. So I just really want to wish every single one of you out there a really Merry Christmas. Hope you all get to spend some time with families and loved ones. And a big thank you, because obviously our job wouldn't be nothing without all you guys out there watching and interacting with us. So from me, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Oh. Jan's Christmas message, love that. Yes, you don't get rid of me that easily though. You've got another couple of days of me. I will be back here tomorrow. It's a triple Michelle tomorrow, so I have wake-up calls, 7 a.m. midday. Or midday, 7 a.m. I should say. We've got a craft along coming up for you as well, 3 p.m. In the afternoon, 10 a.m. in the morning. We've got Gilmore and Pam Evans on the show. Fabulous, looking forward to that. And then a launch party, of course, tomorrow night, again with myself and Michelle. Big show coming up on Wednesday night as well here in the UK. 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Can I tell what it is yet? Is it on the schedule yet, Johnny? Sorry? It's a UK warehouse clearance. 7 p.m, 2 p.m. Myself, Sarah, 3 hours for you. So UK peaks, you know the drill, you know you need to be. Right, Jan, massive thank you to you. Big thanks to Jake and John, and also big thanks to Johnny. And Charlotte, sorry. Right, enjoy the rest of your evening, enjoy your day. I'll see you back here for a brand new day tomorrow. Take care.